All right, Arnav is also my kind of technical co-host, and I can see all the judges. Great. And this is one of the things I wanted everybody to be aware of, is this pair of brothers in Delhi who recently was awarded the International Children's Peace Prize. Kathleen alerted me to this, and I think it's very valid kind of idea that not only do you have great ideas, but then you have to start up a social enterprise with a successful business model. So this, I think, is an interesting kind of looking forward. Where do we go after GRUEN is try to take our ideas and create a sustainable business model. And these two young teenagers did a great job with that. So that's one thing I wanted to point out. Next, I wanted to look at the badges. So these are the one of the rewards for completing the GRUEN Cycle 3. We have a participant badge, coordinators. There's the fairly basic participant badge. We have a finalist badge. So those teams that were selected to be a finalist, a very short list, that's the badge you guys will be getting that you can put on your CV. And then of course we have bronze, silver, and gold. And then I also wanted to highlight the mentor badge. So for those students who have already finished cycle 1 or cycle 2 and have come back to assist students with cycle 3, this is your special reward and kind of stands out with purple. And I want to credit Abhijit Singh with his design for these badges. And here's the special mention. So we'll be getting to that very soon. A special mention badge. So, okay, so I just wanted to briefly touch on that. We also have organizers, producers, coordinators, but that's where we're at with badges. All right, and here's our agenda. So we've done the review of badges, and now we're going to do a keynote from Dr. Peter Hefele. So let me double check. I've got sound turned on. All right, so here we go.
Good morning, good afternoon, and a very warm welcome from Berlin in Germany on behalf of Konrad Adenauer Stiftung. My name is Peter Hefele. I'm the Director Asia Pacific of KES. Let me first congratulate Brian Knudsen for this impressive idea of the GRUEN conference and his restless efforts to do the organization. And all of you, of course, in participating in today's conference. And I'm delighted too that I took part in giving birth to this initiative during my time in Hong Kong as director of the Foundation's regional program Energy Security and Climate Change in Asia Pacific. And I like to welcome in particular those who had been part of this network since its early stages. One might doubt whether global conferences such as COP are really the way to speed up green transformations with innovative ideas. I am, on the contrary, deeply convinced that urban spaces is the place where you have to find and will find solutions. It starts with the fact that urban spaces provide unique opportunities for the young generation, providing them a kind of breeding ground and sounding board for visions of a future, which is different to the current one, and in particular in developing countries with their rapid urbanization. The values and skills you create and will be able to develop in those spaces are more and more important for your future job profiles and value creation. And against this background, Konrad Adenauer Stiftung, as the largest political foundation in Germany, supports all kinds of initiatives in urban development all over the globe. And we are deeply convinced that innovative capacities lies very much in small and decentralized approaches, that people can only be convinced if and when they see concrete contributions and improvements in their immediate surroundings. Against this background, we have initiated a global network, what we call Strong Cities, that is to enhance the exchange of ideas and solutions among pilot cities and giving cities a stronger voice in global efforts on sustainable development. Next to this, education is key, providing young people with platforms to learn from each other, to link up with their peers and making their voices also heard in political decision-making processes. This is a major pillar of our worldwide activities and with partners such as Brand. I would like to thank you all for your enthusiasm and joint efforts, and I wish you all a very successful conference. Thank you.
Thank you for letting me know. I was muted. That was the
Yeah.
director of the KAS Foundation in Berlin, and he is basically the idea of GRUEN came from him working with Hong Kong Baptist University 3 years ago. And you have recognized him because he came and did a Q&A session with us earlier, and now he's come back to do the keynote. So much appreciated from him. Yeah, let me know when I forget on mute like that. I'll cut out that part in post-production on the recording. All right, so let's do some introductions to the 4 judges. So let's see, I will flip back. So Kathleen Ferrier, we'll start with you as the judge returning from last year's eConference, and she is the chairperson for the Netherlands National Commission for UNESCO. So can you tell us a little bit, Kathleen, about who you are and kind of how you came to this point in your life and in relation to sustainable development?
Yes, thank you so much, Brand. And thank you for inviting me to be part of this fantastic initiative in which so many people participate. And I want to take this opportunity to already congratulate all the participants just for the fact that you have been participating and the wonderful work you have done. My name is Kathleen Ferrier, as Brand said, and I'm now based in the Netherlands. I'm in a small city called Leusden, which is in the center of the Netherlands. And I've been living here now for about 3 years. Before I was in the Netherlands, I have the Dutch nationality. So basically I'm home. Before this, I lived in Hong Kong. I lived there for 5 years. And I was teaching at Hong Kong Baptist University. And I was collaborating also a lot with the Konrad Adenauer Stiftung. I was teaching languages at the Baptist University and also gender and politics, European politics and things like that. And throughout these 5 years in Hong Kong, I've been working with the Konrad Adenauer Stiftung and other initiatives that see to sustainable development, that see to the sustainable development goals in urban environments. And before I came to Hong Kong, I've been a member of Dutch Parliament for the Christian Democratic Party, where I was basically the spokesperson on human rights. And while doing that, I saw more and more how important it is to have the care of our planet, the sustainability of everything we do, that it should be key, because otherwise, whatever we do in, for instance, international cooperation or human rights will not have the effect that we want it to have. And one of the things I learned also is that indeed initiatives from small groups that last, groups that have the perseverance to go on and do what they think is good in their direct environment, make a huge difference. Before I became a member of parliament, I worked with migrant groups in the Netherlands and in Europe. And there I have seen what a huge difference social entrepreneurship of small groups, small initiatives can make. And before that, I lived in Latin America for 10 years, in Chile and in Brazil. So Brand, I got in touch with you, with Peter, when I lived in Hong Kong, and I cannot tell you how happy I am to see again a large group of young people like you all participants. It gives me so much hope for the future, and I want to congratulate you and encourage you to go on with what you are doing. We are really proud of you. Thank you, Brand.
Okay, thank you, Kathleen. So the next judge from also returning from last year's eConference, Kenneth Wong, the founder and CEO of Global Citizen Capital and agenda contributor to the World Economic Forum. Can you introduce a bit about yourself, Kenneth?
Sure, it's definitely very hard to follow Kathleen, but I will try my best. My name is Kenneth. I'm also based in Hong Kong. I have had the privilege of surviving 15 years of boring banking and finance, and it got me to the point thinking, I'm not going to do this for the rest of my life. What I'm going to do with that so-called experience in the capital markets? And I got fascinated by sustainable finance. I got very intrigued by youth empowerment, and I took those two, combined it, founded Global Citizen Capital. We are the first SDG innovator to be recognized by the World Economic Forum in Hong Kong and China. We work with amazing individuals at the UN ecosystem. Yesterday, our first ever United Nations Institute of Training and Research, UNITAR, Youth Ambassadors for Asia Pacific program graduated. And again, very, very honored to be here. I believe for each and every one of you who have made it this far, you are not only the future in the future, you are our future now. And it's our job as adults to empower you to be a young change maker, a young pioneer, and frankly, sometimes take a bit of a step back, just start a more sustainable lifestyle. And as I say, very honored to be here. I work with Cyberport and Hong Kong Science and Technology Park, mentor a lot of startups and social enterprises as well. So I look very much forward to hoping give each and every one of your projects a little bit of boost when I am capable and ready to do so. So thank you very much and looking forward to today.
Okay, thank you, Kenneth. Next, we have a new judge for this year, Dr. Akima Cornell. She's a sustainability expert and climate change project manager, also the head instructor on the 2U Sustainability Short Course for the Yale University School of Management. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself, Akima?
Sure. I similarly am intimidated to follow Kathleen and Kenneth, but I am very happy to be here. And I have to say, I was very impressed with all the work all of you did putting into this course. And I am not comfortable admitting the detail and understanding that all of you have put into these different sustainability technologies and developing your cities and developing your videos far outpaces some of my clients. So I am very happy that the future looks a little bit smarter than the future we have right now, our current situation. So that gives me similar to Kenneth, a bit of hope for the future. I am Dr. Akima Cornell. Prior to this, I was a delegate to the UNFCCC. So that's the UN Climate Conference. I was a representative that helps support small island nations and African countries with their policy negotiations and practices. After that, I went into private consulting. I currently run my own sustainability consulting company in Los Angeles, California, doing everything from renewable energy to waste management, water, you name it. I work with public and private clients to help them actually make climate solutions and actually commit to policies and doing action. So that's my work. As Brent mentioned, I also teach the corporate social responsibility course through 2U at Yale University. And I also teach sustainability at UCLA here in Los Angeles. So teaching and doing projects. So very excited to be here and seeing all that you have learned and worked on your projects. And as I said, I was very impressed with all the materials I saw. So I'm very excited to be here. Thank you.
Very nice. Thank you. Thank you, Akima. And now I know about the corporate service responsibility aspect. So a key component there, and also a source of great funding when corporations try to fulfill their service responsibilities, which usually include sustainability development targets, so goals. So very good. All right, and let's bring in Alexander Verbik, if I could. Great, well, I'm very happy to introduce Alexander Verbik, and perhaps he could tell us a little bit about himself.
Yes, happy to be in this show this morning. I'm a former diplomat. Even before I was a diplomat, I did some other things. I studied human geography at the University of Utrecht in Netherlands, urban geography actually. And then I ran a printing company. I was a journalist on television for a while, and then I became an officer in the Navy, and then ultimately I became a diplomat. I've done that for some 25 years. And then 5 years ago, I became independent, and now I'm living in Ottawa in Canada, and I'm active in, let's say, as an environmentalist. I work on all kinds of environmental programs. So I write about environment. I'm a public speaker. I'm a consultant. I'm the policy director in a think tank in Brussels. I'm a fellow or an associate fellow at several institutions. So I work on environmental issues. I try to convince people of the seriousness of climate change that's going on, and I work with other people together to find solutions for the kind of problems that we're facing on our planet.
Okay, that was Alexander Verbik, and I want to thank Kathleen for introducing him to me. So that's a quick overview of the judges who evaluated all the videos that were selected for participating in the eConference. And let's see where we're at. Yes, announcement of the list of groups selected as finalists. So let's see, I will stop my share. And all right, so I will just count them down here. Now these finalists are not in any order other than consecutive, so not evaluated on quality. And the groups who were selected for the finalist shortlist is group number 4 with the city name Trambaroun, group number 6, Saab City, group number 7, Elysian, group number 11, Ville Verte, group number 12, Peregron, and also the group that produced Viridian City. They didn't have a group number, but they did a good job, and I included them on the finalist list, and they will be awarded the finalist badges. So let's take a look at some of their trailers they produced, and we'll start with group 4, and that was judged by Akima. So after we watch the trailer, I'll ask Akima for brief comments, including things they could improve on. So not just a thumbs up, good job, but also suggestions where they can take forward to improve. All right, so I'm going to share my screen and play this trailer.
We combine 3 German words, Traum, Sauber and Grün, to make Traumberg.
As for solutions, we implement energy efficiency and some more in context to the survey conducted by us. In our study, we aim to implement some intrinsic innovations like working power, transport efficient, air carbon, and outward. Through the surveys we conducted, we got to know that a lot of people can't afford education. Therefore, in Trambaroun, we take certain steps to accelerate proper education, like giving educational access to all, addressing rising tuition fees.
All right, and I see, apparently the little beeps coming through from Discord. I'll try to turn that off, but, and I will stop my share. And Akima, can you just give some feedback to group 4?
Sure. Group 4, you did an incredible job. I loved how you touched on almost all of the UN Sustainable Development Goals and everything from water, waste, and all the different technologies, renewable energy, but also social programs and education and equity and equality. It was really well done. A couple of things that I think you could improve that you may have heard in the trailer. You had the music playing while people were talking, which the music was great and kept things upbeat and very happy, but while people were talking, you couldn't necessarily hear what they were saying, and what you were saying was so important. So that's a small editing factor that, you know, of course, us specialists in Los Angeles like to say you have to drop the music when you have audio and people speaking. So that's an editing technicality. I loved that you had everyone visually shown in the video. So everyone that was participating, you could see who was there. The whole team and the whole group was there, which was fantastic. I liked the editing choices that you had in terms of moving between slides and between the different themes. One also slight suggestion I would say was some of your slides were a bit heavy on text. Which is fine, except the fact that your video was going so fast that it was hard to read all of that important information in text that was just whizzing by. So either try to reduce the amount of text you have or give people a couple more seconds to read it, as there's so much good and important information that you were trying to convey. But overall, it was a great video. You did a fantastic job and very impressed.
Let's look at the next group. I will share my screen and take a look at Saab City, the trailer they produced.
Destruction, suffering, havoc. Is this the future we really want? All of this could be us if we do not act today. The thought of this being our future horrified us. So together, Amal, Dua, Hanya, Iman, and I have decided to stop this from becoming reality, to create the future we want. We only have an idea, but with your help, we can make this our reality.
We, the students of CES, have always been taught to strive higher and aim for a future we dream of. Be it in the form of morning excursions or competition like GRUEN, every moment is a learning opportunity for us. Today, we are here together to show why all of this holds great importance to you and me. Health, fire, and police management. Infrastructure.
Hello, my name is Sulabh Patkus, and today I'll be talking about sustainable development, environmental management, and information technology, or IT.
Transportation. Biodiversity. Waste management. Pollution management.
Governance, power.
We hope that what we talked about right now gave you something to think about, something different, something life-changing. As the youth of today, it has become our responsibility to aim for a livable future. We need your help and support to change the world that we live in today. Thank you.
That was group 6, and the judge was Kenneth. Can you give us some comments, Kenneth, about group 6 work?
Oh, of course. First of all, I love the storytelling angle, and I think, especially given your youth, putting together a Gen Z perspective on how raising the awareness that it is an urgent matter and getting your peers on board is great. Clearly, some of the recommendations I would give focuses on compared to the first presentation where there's a lot of content, a lot of text. This one was a bit light touch of just hitting the key points. So perhaps, in the next, version of this PowerPoint, you can at least kind of group those key topics and kind of identify which SDGs they are aligned with. And then maybe just quickly using a few words, describe instead of just verbally how or what the main impact or the KPI, right, of that particular area would be. Then it would even become an even more holistic type of presentation. But of course, I'm also glad you actually featured Hong Kong as part of that presentation. So yeah, keep up the great work. And I do believe Sahab City has what it takes to actually become a very impactful project. Thank you.
So let's move on to the next one. Group 7, Elysian is the name of their city, and Kenneth again is the judge. Let's take a quick look at their trailer.
Art of Living is committed in its cause to preserve a green planet, and our vision is to see that planet. Presenting to you Elysian, the ideal city humankind has been imagining since the dawn of the earth.
According to data compiled by Report, the global rate of natural wealth creation in a year is 45%, which is the cost of GDP-based growth. We aim to create a sustainable environment and combine the best initiatives to create the dream city.
Is a well-connected and well-developed system of roads with pedestrian bridges to ease crossing of roads for citizens. We also have numerous bus stations across the city to encourage public transport.
Our city has an elaborate sustainable urban mobility plan, which includes the implementation of footfall harvesting, which are the tiles that will be installed in pedestrian bridges to produce energy when stepped on. This energy is used as a backup source in case of power outages. Hydrogenated trains are zero-emission hydrogen-powered trains that are energy efficient and cause almost no air pollution. Now let's have a look at a few more innovations that help improve air quality in Elysian. Chakra Shield, developed by Chakra Innovation, captures PM from exhaust gas and converts it into ancient paints, improving the air quality. The bioreactors by U-Earth digest pollutants to create pure air zones. We all know that air quality is majorly affected by energy efficiency. So now let's see how we have made Elysian energy efficient. We have solar-powered plants and solar tunnel created by Infinity, which produces 3.3 megawatt-hours of energy annually and decreases carbon emissions.
The Vortex bladeless wind turbine works like a normal turbine but is cost and space effective and doesn't harm birds. We also have mini hydropower plants that are cost and space effective, thus preventing loss of biodiversity.
Okay, well, that was Elysian. And Kenneth, can you give some feedback to group 7?
I'll be honest. Yeah, I'll be honest. It's trying to provide critiques on this presentation. It's difficult for me because I could have never done this in high school or university. Right? Adults need to be transparent, right? And also recognize the fact that it was a very well put together presentation. My only comment is, again, you have clearly done your research. You have lots of ideas. Given the time frame, sometimes less is more, right? Impact is made, especially for judges, when they can essentially just remember one key aspect, right, per category. Again, great job putting in, videos, demonstrating visually. I mean, it is definitely one of the most visually captivating presentation out there. So great job to Ms. Coley as well as the mentor, and great work with all the students. So thank you.
Okay, very good. I agree. Elysian's work was amazing, especially considering they're just secondary students. Okay, next on the finalist list is group 11, Phil Vert. And let's take a look at their trailer, and then I will play back some feedback that Alexander recorded.
we will present the vision of our sustainable city, Vilworth. We together came up with several criteria to achieve our sustainability goals and a SimCity model.
Air is one of the primary necessities for supporting life on Earth. Air pollution is a serious issue and a cause for major concern in today's world.
Water is a common substance life cannot exist without. Water quality is one of the most important factors in a healthy ecosystem. Clean water supports the diversity of plants and wildlife.
Our city will follow the 5 Rs: refuse, reduce, reuse, recycle, and draw.
Urban mobility is the sum total movement of people within an area on a daily basis. It also gives an overview of methods and other conditions associated with such movements, such as the modes of transport selected, regularity of travel, frequency, and time spent in transport.
Biodiversity describes the richness and variety of life on Earth. Without it, life won't sustain. People may not realize, but biodiversity is really important for urban planning.
Energy describes the ability of an object to work. Energy efficiency simply means using less energy to perform the same task, that is, eliminating energy waste.
Land use is based on the functional dimension of land for different human purposes or economic activities.
The environmental challenges have reshaped societies due to its detrimental impact. We need to shift to a place where nature and people can coexist.
Governed well, cities can act as engines of growth and allow social development and focus on environment.
Okay, that was the trailer for Vilworth, and here's the feedback for Group 11 from Alexander. So you've watched the videos, and I'd like to get your feedback on Group 11, Vilworth. What did you think of their efforts?
Yeah, so it was beautifully done. Let me start by saying that all videos that I saw was just I'm amazed by the quality of the production and by the research that you've done and the way that you present it, and so I'm impressed by every one of you, which made it extremely difficult to find a good choice. But for Vilworth, I thought it was really excellently done. You covered all grounds that I could think of and more. You went further than only, let's say, the first things you would think of, like more bicycles or more trees, but you also went into issues like government and inequality, etc. I think that's important to cover as well. One point to look at maybe is when you put a lot of text on the screen, but you're talking and you tell a different story, then as somebody watches, you're confused. Shall I read what's there or shall I listen? So either put a lot of text and read it, or just do a picture or photo and then talk over it. Because otherwise people get confused. But that's just a tiny thing, because I thought you really did an excellent job. So congratulations for Vilworth.
Okay, that was the feedback from Alexander for Vilworth. And let's move on to Group 12, GRUEN and their trailer.
Sustainable and new technology can provide solutions to various environmental, economic, and social problems. GRUEN will invest in such technology to create a smart and eco-friendly city.
Here at GRUEN, the transport shall be sustainable, affordable, efficient, accessible, and safe. The city shall be planned as to make basic facilities available and reduce the cost of transportation.
Trade is the basic concept of involving the buying and selling of goods and services.
Why economic equality is important for our green city, as economic inequality causes health and social problems, and it affects the environment as well. And sustainable environment is the base of our green city.
Okay, that was group 12, GRUEN, and here is the feedback from Alexander. Okay, the other group that we have as a finalist is GRUEN, group 12. What did you think of them, Alexander?
Well, GRUEN was another excellent one. As a Dutchman, I of course like to pronounce the word groen as we do it in Dutch, and I know that hardly anybody outside of the borders of our country is able to do so. But that means green, of course, and yeah, this was also a presentation that really covered all the points. Also, things like the donut model and governance and inequality. Because with all of these things, if you want to, let's say, groen a city, then you need to do a lot of things. You know, you want more bikes, you want more public transport, you want to organize infrastructure differently, you want to have clean air, and you want to have, you know, better water available, and you want to have better sewage systems, and you want more trees in the cities, and anything you want, but you never get there if you don't have good governance. So that the governance is so important. So to govern these kind of, let's say, infrastructure aspects, but also to create a society in the city that can adapt to the new demands of this century. So that includes also things like education, tackling inequality, and think in the donut model, which I thought was a good one that GRUEN mentioned. So this one was really good. I sometimes had a bit of trouble in hearing everything because the music was so loud, but that's an easy fix. You just put that a bit lower, because then the information sometimes got a bit too much, because then there was also words on the screen and a picture and a voice and music, and then it's like, whoa, I really have to concentrate. And what I know from television making is that you really have to feed the story to somebody, and then you're surprised on how little you can actually tell. So all of these groups that I saw, all, you know, so much, and you want to tell the whole story. In let's say television making or video making, you have to make really hard choices in what you throw out, what you really want to tell, but there's no time for it. And it's a problem I always face, because I like all issues and I talk a lot. And then it's like, oh, I got only so much time and I cannot say everything. So having said that, I'm falling in my own sword now by saying this. I think I filled more than the 2 minutes I was supposed to talk about this. But congratulations, another excellent group. You really, really did well. And I hope you learned a lot. I know that you learned a lot. So very well done.
Okay, that was the feedback for group 12. And finally, we have Viridian City. And I will just play 2 minutes of their regular video. And I will ask Kathleen for her comments afterwards.
We hereby present our proposal for Unit 5, Viridian City, giving the rationale and analysis behind our sustainable environment. City plan. Viridian City is architecturally modern, predominantly urban and sustainable, with lots of green landscape. It has an area of roughly 15,000 kilometers square, with 38% forested area. Each colony and complex has a small park attached to it with recycling bins at every 10 meters. Sustainable industrialization and infrastructure is our goal with the help of cleaner technologies. Wide roads, pedestrian and bicycle paths maintain a clean flow of traffic all over. Industrial areas are situated on the outskirts of the city. The city has a proper supply of electricity and is designed to ensure equitable availability of resources. The target will be to improve water quality by reducing pollution and eliminating dumping by minimizing release of hazardous chemicals and materials. Houses and buildings are properly spaced for reduction of noise pollution, and affordable houses are built to accommodate lower income strata of our society. Agriculture is practiced on sustainable urban farms, which take up approximately 20% of the land area. Most corporate and government buildings are predominantly high-rise. Waste management regulations will be in accordance with agreed international frameworks and significantly reduce their release to air, water, and soil in order to minimize their adverse impacts. We have worked eagerly to improve education and mitigation on climate change. We will create urban designs for tomorrow and not only what is feasible today. Air pollution.
Okay, that was 2 minutes of that.
The city will be
Let me ask Kathleen to unmute for her feedback.
Yes, thank you very much, Brand. And thank you so much to the group who invented this beautiful Viridian city. First of all, I very much like the name, the creativity you showed in inventing this name. Secondly, I think your presentation was set up very well in terms that you had all the different topics, the relation to the SDGs, and I liked very much that the whole team was participating. What I can give you, oh yeah, I also like the images you used very much. What I can also give you as an advice is what others already have been saying: less is more. It is a lot of information. And secondly, what I would also like to give you as an advice: when you have less information, you perhaps every now and then could go a little deeper into the how you will achieve something. Because, for instance, when we talk about transport, it's very good that you say that it should be cheap. But since I want to stimulate you to start a social enterprise and keep on building this wonderful Viridian city, it would be interesting to hear every now and then how you are going to achieve your goals. Where would you get the money from to keep the transport as cheap as possible, for instance? So thank you very much for inviting us to your beautiful Viridian city.
Okay, very good, Kathleen. Thank you. So one thing I wanted to note was that of the 6 finalists, 3 of those groups were mentored by Urja Kohli. So I'm sure she's here. And I want to congratulate her for doing an excellent job mentoring those 3 groups that all made it into the finalist list of 6. Okay, well, it's almost time to announce the medal winners. But wait, we have a special mention for Group 6, creating Saab City. So I want to play a recording from the special mystery guest. Okay, so here is our mystery guest. Welcome, Samreen. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Thank you so much, Brent, for having me. This is Samreen Khan Kauri from Shelter Participatory Organization, Pakistan. It's a woman-led, youth-led organization which is founded in 2014, and we are aiming to develop a sustainable society that carry forward the sustainable development goal with more focus work in environment, climate action, gender equality, and disaster management. So we are a community-based organization which has a strong networking at regional level and global level as well. And I'm so happy to that GRUEN project is very much progressing, and Brand looking forward and taking it forward with the students of Pakistan and India as well.
Okay, thank you very much. You have watched the video from Group 6 and their design for Saab City. What did you think?
Honestly speaking, when I watched the video, I surprised the way they produce such a quality production, and the content, it's very well researched, very well articulated, and I feel so proud of students at this age and at this level. They are able and they are capable to put their thoughts and put their ideas in such a refined manners. So I'm really excited and feel very proud of them that they are grow and able to learn and absorb things and put into a very finest manners.
Excellent. Yeah. I agree completely. And I'm amazed at their achievement. And I was wondering if they can help you in some way in your work with your NGO, if they can contribute to your efforts in Pakistan.
Yes, actually, we are try to push the boundaries, actually, because the Pakistan is a developing country and everything here is quite complex in terms of development, in terms of social dynamics. So young people is 60% of population in Pakistan, and we are focused of young people who have a tremendous energy, and sustainable development goals is something that is a very big dream for all, like humanity. So we focus on youth. They are we capacity building for young people and push them to move to achieve sustainable development goals right from the grassroots level, from and to the regional level. So we try to keep things at grassroots level and encourage them to do their some social actions activities within their communities. Charity begins from the home. So until unless they are able to contribute within their community, they become able to do something bigger. So we push them to contribute in their community in very small manners, in very action oriented and very very small steps they can start, and they can put their role in driving seat. Yeah.
Okay, very good. Well, I hope that they can serve some role to assist you in your work as an NGO in Pakistan. Would you like to close with a short statement in Urdu?
Oh, thank you so much. Yes, जो लोग जो बच्चे जो जबरदस्त जो स्टूडेंट्स हैं जो मुझे सुन रहे हैं और जो मुझे देख रहे हैं, मैं बहुत खुश हूँ आप लोगों के काम से, और उम्मीद करती हूँ कि इन फ्यूचर मेरे हवाले से और मेरी ज़ात के हवाले से, मेरी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन के हवाले से किसी भी किस्म की कोई भी जो आप लोगों को हेल्प चाहिए इन टर्म ऑफ कैपेसिटी बिल्डिंग, इन टर्म ऑफ एनी नेटवर्किंग, इन टर्म of any guidance, I am here to help you out, to facilitate you, to mentor you. और बिल्कुल ये उर्दू में बोलना है, तो आप आपस की बातें, मतलब ब्रांड जो है वहाँ यूएसए में बैठकर और हमें मतलब आपस में ही try to help us and he try to connect us, so why not कि हम एक दूसरे के साथ जो है वो खुद कनेक्ट और खुद एक दूसरे का सहारा बने और रास्ता दिखाएं एक दूसरे को. जी, थैंक यू सो मच.
Okay, thank you very much, Samreen. It was my pleasure to see you again, and I appreciate your willingness to assist with this current GRUEN project. Thank you very
Gee.
much.
Yes, thank you so much, Brand, for having me. And once again, I'm extending my all possible facilitation and possible support to the young people, to the young students here.
Okay, that was from Samreen. She runs an NGO in Pakistan, and she will be working with Group 6 as part of their Special Mention Award. So I would like to invite Akima to make some comments about practical implementations and how to kind of take these ideas forward.
Thank you, Brand. I have to say, all of you came up with such incredible ideas for how to create your green, sustainable, beautiful cities. I would be happy to live in any of them. Please build them quickly so I can live there. But one of the things to think about from taking your policy and all of those wonderful ideas to make them into practical applications is you need the same three things you need for sustainability. You need the environmental, the economic, and the social. So keep those three pillars and translating those into practical action. So the environmental is the project idea, what you have in mind, what you want to do, installing those solar plans, improving the waste management, getting better, cleaner transportation. Those are your project ideas. Those are the environmental. The economic, pretty straightforward. You can't build projects, programs, infrastructure, renewable energy without funding and money. So you have to determine where you're going to get that funding. Is it going to be a public-private partnership where you're working with a business and a city to create infrastructure plans? Are you going to have it be entirely city funded? Are you working with an NGO? But sooner or later, you're going to have to find money to do that work. I'm pretty sure the other judges will agree with me that you can't do anything without funding. So that's the second pillar. The third pillar is social. All of you have great ideas for new cities, and you can't have cities without people. So that's where you have community outreach and stakeholder engagement. You have to involve the people you're going to help and serve to make sure that you're not only giving them a city they want, but a city they need and a city that they feel comfortable living in. You want to make sure they're reflecting the culture, the language, the diversity of the people that you want to live there. And in order to do that, you have to actually talk to the people. You can't just have everything top down, like we're going to create this perfect green society that you live in without their input. So it's not just a one-way street. You actually have to talk to people and engage them and ask them, what do you want in your city? What isn't working in your city? How can we improve it? So you have to be able to talk to people. So that's the environment, the economic, and the social aspects of creating a more sustainable city. And if you have those three things, then you at least have a great starting point for creating practical applications for building those beautiful, green, sustainable cities, which I hope you all build very soon so I can nicely retire and live in all of those beautiful cities. So hopefully that's a little bit practical application for getting started on building those green cities. I look forward to seeing them soon.
Hey, very good. You can always tell who's been a teacher because they can take the stage and run with it. So good job. Thank you, Akima, putting together such an inspirational speech. We're almost reaching our 1 hour limit here. I want to soon ask Kenneth to comment if he can stick around just for a couple more minutes, but I want to do the countdown here for the medal awards. So we just did the special mention for Group 6, and now it's time to announce the medal winners. So winning the bronze medal is Group 4 with Trambaroon. And that was uploaded by Anmol Mishra. And the members are Shaurya Kohli, Sharmista Dubey, Sinchan Pathania, Stuti Luna, and Yasser Ali. And they were mentored by Urja. So good job to that team. And now the silver medal is awarded to Group 12 with Paragrone. And that was uploaded by Anushka Sharma And the members are Apurva Sharma, Jia Bhargava, Sarah Bhargava, S. Naveen, and K.N. Gokulan. So good job to Group 12 and their mentor, Serbi. So excellent work. And now that moment we've all been waiting for. Who won? The gold medal goes to Group 7 with Elysian City, uploaded by Manya. And the members are, I'll try to get all these names right, Lakshana, Abba, Bagath, and Soumya. And the mentor was Urja. So great work from all those groups. And the prize goes to Group 7. What prize, you may ask? Well, that prize is a mentorship and a remote entrepreneurial course teaching you how to set up a startup. So a startup social enterprise, because I think Akima addressed that you have these great ideas. How do you take it forward? How do you get the funding, for example? So Nathan Bain of Kids for SDGs will offer a virtual internship that has 3 elements: a 20-hour online learning course on social entrepreneurship. It's self-paced over 6 weekends. Secondly, scheduled in-person or virtual mentorship sessions hosted by the founders on the learning outcomes. And finally, a 6-week virtual internship applying these learning outcomes to the startup projects of global citizen capital. So this approach would check the boxes for criteria regarding education, employment, and entrepreneurship. So I would invite Kenneth to speak briefly about that, because he was responsible for connecting us with Nathan. So take it away, Kenneth.
Good. First of all, once again, Kathleen and Akima, I think the wisdom that you bring to mentoring all these students just through today is kind of exactly what Nathan envisioned about how do we localize and realize all the ideas in the real world. And sometimes, at Global Citizen Capital, I think, you know what, if a social enterprise actually benefits just one person a day, that's 365 people a year, right? So got to start there. And we structure this program with Kids for SDGs so that Kids for SDGs will take upon the more mentorship and education role. And when the project is ready, we will take within a portfolio of startups that Global Citizen Capital has invested in, we will identify the most fitting or the most meaningful one to hopefully apply that prototype or service or solution, whatever it may be, because we are flexible in this world, and actually hope to, again, make real impact in the real world, benefiting real people, as Dr. Cornell says, right? You got to look after the economic, social, right, and the environment. So 3 in 1. So very much looking forward, and congratulations to all the winning teams and everyone, of course, who have also participated. You are all winners in mine. And I even brought this little medal to show you guys, right? Everyone's a winner. So thank you so much.
All right. Thank you very much, Kenneth, for that inspirational summary. So that pretty much draws to a close the process of this cycle 3 in the GRUEN project. And last, I want to touch on plans for cycle 4 in 2022. I have purchased a domain name, bridges.green. And the idea is to facilitate intercultural bridges across borders with the pursuit of sustainable development education. So that's the plan. I hope all of you can share your videos with your schools to help inspire the next generation of students to sign up for Cycle 4 and hopefully win some excellent opportunities and get exposure and recognition for your work and your ideas. So that concludes our eConference, and I want to thank all of our judges, Akima, Kathleen, Kenneth, and Alexander. Great work. Good job to all the students, and I hope you enjoyed Cycle 3. So thank you very much for attending, everybody. Kathleen for getting up at 6 a.m. Akima for tuning in on her holiday. And Kenneth, great summary. Good job. Thank you very much for introducing us to Nathan Bain and facilitating that grand prize for the winning group. All right, well, that's it, guys. So stay tuned for the kickoff of Cycle 4, probably in January. We'll see how it goes. And good luck on all your exams. I know a lot of you are heading into your school exams in the next week or two. So good luck with that. I know it's very important to all of you. And thanks again to everybody who attended. Take care. This concludes the presentation. Bye-bye, everybody. Hey, do you want to...
everyone, great job. Thank you so much.
Go ahead and start your videos if you want. Well, if anybody want to try starting your videos to close out this recording, you can wave until the whole thing blows up. Lakshana, Manya. All right. There's Urja, the queen of mentors. Excellent. Anybody else want to enable your video and say hello? Wave at least. And that'll be the
great team photo. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Brent, we just need you back on.
I wish I could. I wish I could. But when I turned off that annoying beep from Discord, it just wiped out my ability to do my video. But hey, it's not about me, right? It's about the students. It's about what they do. So Abba, good to see you. Sharmista, Arnav, thank you very much for your technical support. And Bhagath, Yasser Ali from Pakistan, Manya, very good. And the producers of the videos, I will award a special badge for the people who actually edited those videos, because that's a key role, a key talent. All right. Well, thank you very much for everybody attending. Appreciate your time and efforts, expertise. All right. Thank you very much.
Bye, everyone. Have a great rest of the day. Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Congratulations. Bye.
See you, everybody.
Bye.